My name is Ron Albino. I'm currently principal here at St. Peter's School. And what I want to say to our veterans is that I want to say thank you very much for your service. It is through your sacrifices, your dedication, your commitment to service and to brotherhood that allows us to have the freedoms that we enjoy today, every single one of us.
My dad, he's a special veteran in my life. He was a staff sergeant in the Army and he fixed planes in the Air Force.
My grandpa was a veteran in the Vietnam War and my stepdad was in the Army.
My brother is in the military currently. He graduated from basic training about 2 years ago. And my dad, he was in the military and served.
My dad is active military, and my great-grandpa, when he was alive, he was in the military, and my mom used to be in the military. She was a nurse.
A few uncles, my grandpa, my parents served in the Air Force and Army, and my mom, she's currently retired. She was in the Air Force, so was my dad.
I'm very proud of my mother. She worked for the Air Force as a lawyer. She still works for veterans in DC. She buys their health care at Defense Health.
My grandfather, who is a deacon at St. Peter's School, he was a veteran in the Korean War.
My dad, he is a trauma nurse and he's gone to many different countries to help people out, like Iraq and Afghanistan. And I really admire him for that. He's like my biggest inspiration or hero.
My dad has been deployed for twice now. He was deployed when I was in 3rd grade, and he was deployed last year when I was in 6th grade. And he is getting ready to be deployed again for 6 months in May. I feel it's very tough for our family, especially with my 2 younger brothers. But I'm proud of him, and I'm proud that he does it because he makes sure that all families, including mine, are safe at home.
I was the oldest in my family, and we were looking at what to do about education after high school. And so I looked at a couple of colleges, and we realized with all the extra kids in the house that it's probably not going to be financially feasible to go to college. So I went in the Navy to get my college education. Just because I was doing it to get an education doesn't mean I didn't take very seriously the fact that I was protecting our nation. On a ballistic missile submarine, we knew that if we ever launched our missiles, there would be nothing to come home to. And that was always on our minds.
My connection is that I'm a retired Army Special Forces Sergeant Major, 22 years in service. So I understand what sacrifices are. I understand what giving of yourself means. When I transitioned out of the military, I volunteered teaching downtown Cincinnati. And it was by far one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life besides being in the service. So I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the Lord giving me the opportunity and allowing me to be here to be able to say these kinds of things to our kids and to our veterans.
When I think about Veterans Day, I never think about myself as a veteran. Like I said, I was a peacetime veteran. I think about the young men and women who have been fighting our wars in the Middle East for the last 10 years. I think about people like my uncle who fought in Korea and the few that are left that fought in World War II. Those are the real veterans.
Thank you to my dad, my grandfather, my brother, and everybody else in the military for serving for our country and our freedom.
I thank all the veterans that are currently serving and that are retired, and I really admire them, and it's a very selfless thing that they did.
Thank you to all the veterans because it really takes guts to go out and fight for our country because it's a scary thing to be in the war.
I just want to say thank you to him, all my other family members that have served, and all veterans for what they have done. It's just, they're heroes to me.
Thank you to my dad and to all veterans everywhere. I don't understand how you were able to do it, but thank you for it.
when I was assigned to the USS Michigan, it was being built in the shipyard. And it is a Navy tradition that the crew that puts a ship in commission, that is, takes it all the way through being built and being accepted by the Navy as a ship, is known as a plank owner. Back in the old days, in the day of sailing ships, when a ship had finished its lifetime and was decommissioned, they cut up the planks of the deck, and each person got to take a piece of the plank with them. So they became plank owners. So someday, when the USS Michigan is decommissioned, I will receive a piece of something from the ship in the mail with a certificate.